Well, that was way more entertaining than what it needed to be. For Aston Villa, 5-goal thriller here at Villa Park against RB Salzburg, the Austrian Bundesliga leaders. Villa holding on to their top 2 position in the end. Jimoh-Aloba, 88th minute. Scenes inside Villa Park. A goal which will live long in the memory, I think, actually, even though this game for some was a bit of a dead rubber. Not for me. Well, to be fair, growing number of fans as well, jumping on the top 2 bandwagon. We've been talking about it for so long, manifesting it, possibly. Villa now can enjoy home comforts, hopefully, in the second leg of all of their knockout matches. Well, hopefully there's more than just around 16, you're talking quarterfinals and semi-finals, all of those second legs here at Villa Park. Unai was actually asked about it, one of his first questions in his press conference, and said, we lost here against Everton. We know the game that he's playing there, and he's not wrong. Villa, just because they're at home doesn't mean that you're going to get through. Based just off that, of course, Villa's record here is a really strong one, and top 2 from the start for me is really important. I remember standing out in the rain in Deventer when Villa had lost to Go Ahead Eagles, and you're thinking, okay, well, that's probably their life gone here. They're going to have a very strong second half of their European campaign, essentially, and then even after that you had a couple more games. So 8 matches down for Villa, 7 wins, 1 defeat, a really strong league phase, and it was 19 points last season. That was always the target for me, for Villa to get into that top 2, and in the end that's Villa surpassed that and hit 21, which is excellent. On goal difference they would have crept in on 19 points, I think. That doesn't matter, they've matched Lyon, who also finished in the top 2. They finished top, and Villa can look forward to not only the draw of sorts, but you're looking at Red Star Belgrade, Lille, PAOK and Celta Vigo. Those are the teams, one of the teams that Villa will play out of that lot in the round of 16, and then at the moment at least the more likely would be either Roma or Freiburg, who finished in strong positions inside the top 8 as well. So it's all kind of coming together a little bit more. That will become a little bit clearer again when the draws are made and all of that business is done. But the important thing tonight was winning, and Villa did it just about, and again, far more entertaining than what it needed to be. And it was really entertaining. Jimoh-Aloba coming up with a real moment, and something that a lot of fans here will remember for a long time, even though it's just Salzburg. And I don't want to say just the Europa League, because hopefully if they win it this season, that'll be a massive achievement. But you know where I'm going with that. Villa have had some huge nights. Bayern Munich, Celtic as well. That was a great night. Nearly 12 months ago, bang on. But I do think that today or tonight will stick out as well, and especially for Jamal and Caden Young, who comes up with the assist. George Hemmings as well, his first start for Villa, and although it wasn't easy for him at times, fantastic experience for him and something he'll learn from, absolutely. I'll get into that a bit later, I suppose, but for now, just quickly finish the sort of summary, I guess, of what this means. So as I say, Villa are now in a strong position in the knockouts because they've got those home second legs to look forward to at Fortress Villa Park, which is that was for me the main objective. Villa need to win the Europa League. They have the best manager by a long way. They have the best squad, even though they've got some injuries this season. They've got the biggest wage bill, I presume, as well. It's all set up for Villa to win. They just need to do it now. They've had experiences in the last 3 years under Unai Emery, and even something like going to Deventer, Go Ahead Eagles, and losing there. That's a lesson tonight. That's a lesson as well for me. So they're building as they go. Olympiacos was a lesson. Champions League, get to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, and then you drop into the Europa League. Villa are always going to be favourites, and rightly so, by the way. It's just how do you manage that? Lille and Lyon are both having decent campaigns in their respective league. I add Roma to that as well. Of course, Lyon and Lille are in the same league. But the point I'm trying to make is that although Lyon are the only team who've matched Villa and Roma have gone pretty strong, you can't discount other sides. Look at what PSG did in the Champions League last season, so Villa have to only concentrate on themselves, and they will. I'm sure they are the team, I think, that people or the other clubs will view as the one to beat, though. We can look forward to who Villa will be getting in the coming rounds. In terms of the game itself, again, I think it was started, apart from Harvey Elliott nearly scoring inside the first 30 seconds. I mean, could have started anywhere really tonight, but that's another kind of key talking point. Harvey Elliott started his first game for 123 days, I believe. And as I say, it nearly scored in the start of the first 30 seconds of that start, and that would have been a brilliant way to come back into the side, and a brilliant way for Villa to have opened the game. Didn't happen. 33 minutes or so, Salzburg take the lead. Error from Tyrone Mings. And Lindelof, it looked from my angle like an own goal, but looking at it again, I think it was probably going in, just creeping inside the near post. So let's go on a walk actually. I don't actually do many walking talks anymore, it's just walking in circles and talking. So it's quickly go down this hill, may slip over. We made it. And then Salzburg double the lead, of course, after half time. Ollie Watkins comes off not long after Salzburg open the scoring, which is a blow quickly on that. Emery did say that he doesn't think it's a big one, he thinks it's just a small injury. He says he doesn't know if he'll be available for Sunday, but that indicates that it's not something that Villa will be threatening over too much. Obviously Tammy Abraham's in the building now, back in the building, chance for his name. I think that's probably the first chant of the match, was Tammy Abraham chant. He beats Douglas Luiz to the first chant of the night. Luiz quickly followed, of course. Now, having him through the door is really important now. He may start, of course, against Brentford, but we'll see how Ollie is. Doesn't sound like it's a particularly bad one, so that's good. It appears to me that he probably came off more as a precaution than anything, just simply because if that was I don't know if that is Brentford or if that is Chelsea at home or whatever, probably carries on at least to half time. So yeah, on a cold day like this, in a game which Villa wanted to win, as they didn't need to win, you know, it wasn't life or death necessarily. Villa just wanted to give themselves a nice platform in that semi-final second leg, if they can get there. But back to the game, and it was Morgan Rogers who came on for Watkins. He halved Villa's deficit, some nice interchange in a play with Buendia, tucks it away nicely past Alexander Schlager, and then Tyrone Mings, who otherwise had a bit of an indifferent game, I think, but he levels the game up, so makes up for some mistakes. So it's certainly one big error. And sorry, I clicked the wrong button. It heads past the goalkeeper Schlager, Matty Cash with the assist, but Cash thought was excellent after he came on. He'll be up there with player of the season shouts, absolutely. I really believe that. Yeah, it's superb this season, I think Cash has been. When he came on, he did give Villa a new dynamic. And then of course the winner, Caden Young, down the wing, very quick player, hasn't had so much luck out on loan, and he's kind of getting to the point where yeah, you know, he wants to get his career up and running, I suppose. No player has the same development pathway as the next one or the last one or the one before, but for Caden Young to get that moment today was for me almost just as important as Jimoh-Aloba scoring, you know. So for Caden Young's confidence, that's brilliant. And it was a great finish as well by Jimoh-Aloba. Great ball, great finish. In front of the Holte end, you really can't write a better, much better of a script. Of course you can, but Holte end European debut possibly as well. So yeah, what a way to score, and what a night to do it in. And it means something for Villa as well, so the roof came off when it went in. So superb all around there. And Villa win 3-2. And that was a very brief match summary. I've been through what it means for Villa. We all know what it means coming into the game, and what it means for Villa going forward now. But heading into the match, I didn't expect it to be so dramatic. If you said there's going to be 5 goals, I thought, okay, well maybe Villa do win 3-2. Salzburg had to win today, but they have quite a youthful side, and in the end, that probably showed. Yeah, Villa, bouncing back, I suppose, from that Everton defeat at home. Newcastle, of course, was a superb win away. Fenerbahce too. It's important now that they can build some form at home again, and I'm sure they will, because a lot of their games now are going to be at home. And it's Bournemouth, of course, away after Brentford. But Villa play Leeds, Brighton, Newcastle in the Cup, Chelsea as well after they play Wolves. So Villa don't leave the West Midlands apart from playing Bournemouth in the next month or so. So it's important to build up some momentum here at home, and I think they'll do that. And again, nice like tonight sort of remind you that Villa have a lot at Villa Park. I'm not wandering too far down because I do need to get home and go back the other way. In fact, I'll probably wrap up soon because tonight again was all about winning. I could talk a lot here about different things. It's quite late and it's cold. Just quickly, there will be obviously a post-match on Claret and Blue with, I think, Dan Ronaldson and Matt Kendrick. There'll obviously be some bits and bobs for the upcoming game against Brentford too, and all your Q&As and whatnot next week as well. It's a free week, of course, free midweek for Villa. It's deadline day on Monday. Emery was asked about Evan Gesson and essentially confirmed that he was going. There'll be some more quotes from him in an article that we put out in the morning. Harvey Elliott, we'll have a quick chat about him. Obviously starting to say for the first time in 4 months or so. The last start was against Fulham. I think he did okay. That goal would have been a real boost for him and of course for Villa, but especially for him. Emery asked about him after full time and he just again said that his situation hasn't changed and it's not changing. You kind of just wonder, well, will Liverpool allow Villa to take out that buy clause, obligation even, so we can play some football in the final half of the season? Well, we were nearly in the final third of the league season, but of course if Villa want to go deep in the FA Cup and certainly deep in the Europa, then many more games to be played. It's just a shame for him, of course. But Liverpool, you think, well, why would you not allow Villa to have or let your player play football under Unai Emery for the final third of the season or whatever? Well, Liverpool are now, or Villa, sorry, are now rivals to Villa. I think that's my only sort of observation there. That you can look into the financials and would there be a penalty for taking away an obligation? Would there be other sort of consequences? I don't know. But mainly, I think if you're Liverpool, you're thinking, well, why would you give Villa essentially a new signing of a player who you know has got talent? Today, I don't think he showed it exactly, but equally, you're not going to be overly critical of a player who's just started his first league game in 4 months. We're not going to go into him. Absolutely not. I don't think many players out there were particularly on their game today, and that's why Villa were 2-0 down. So, yeah, Elliott, I think he was bright in moments, in others, not so much. But what do you expect? So, no sort of criticism really from me. He needs to have a bit of run in the team if he's going to play. I'm alright at the moment, mate, thanks. But then at the same time, if you give him that run in the team, you're paying 35 million, so hopefully, no, it's alright. Lots of taxis around it, obviously. If you pay that, of course, it's money that Villa don't want to pay. Emery said that before. So if you can take the obligation out, maybe that changes. But at the moment, Emery says that nothing's changed. Nothing is going to change, essentially. Whether that's lost in slight translation of nothing's changing, does he mean as in at the moment it's not changing, or will that change before the deadline? Going to go around in circles, literally around the houses as well. But that is the situation as we find at the moment, which is a bit of a shame. Where else can we go? I think that pretty much caps it there. Villa are too good for Salzburg when they want to be, if that makes sense, with respect to them, because they are leaders in the Bundesliga, Austrian Bundesliga. But that's, I think that pretty much wraps it up. We can look now ahead to Sunday. Tammy Abraham and Douglas Luiz both possibly making their second Villa debuts. If nothing else, there's going to be lots of positivity inside the stadium ahead of the game. Hopefully Villa can play well enough to win. They need to win. Villa need to keep winning games in the league just to get to that 70-point mark or around it as quick as they possibly can. Europa League knockouts will hit them thick and fast in March onwards. So this month's really important. As I mentioned earlier, Leeds at home, Brighton at home, Wolves away. The game at the weekend against Brentford, if they can get those home wins together. Bournemouth, can they get a result there? I mean, you think it's asking for a lot, but Villa are a very good team. The only, obviously, issue is that you're without Tielemans for 8 weeks. McGinn's 6, Kamara for the season. Man, it's pretty depressing stuff, isn't it? But hey, Luiz is back. Let's see if he can pull up any trees. What I would say about Luiz quickly is that playing alongside Onana, hopefully, if Onana can stay fit, that's really important. But it would allow Luiz to play a more adventurous role, getting on the ball, not doing as much dirty work as what he'd been asked to when he wasn't playing particularly well without Kamara in his first kind of period under Emery. So let's see how it goes. Tammy, different kind of proposition altogether, of course, but equally hopeful that he'll be able to hit the ground running. That's what Jimoh-Aloba said yesterday. Yeah, gonna wrap up there and get home. Look forward to that Brentford game. Just trying to think if there's anywhere else that I can go. The one last thing that I'll say about tonight, Emery was asked in his post-match presser about Real Madrid speculation. That came originally from Spain, as you'd expect, followed up a few different places as well, essentially saying that in the summer Madrid will be looking for a new coach, or likely looking for a new coach, and Emery would be a candidate. It's no surprise. Emery is one of the best managers in world football. He's also Spanish. I'm not going to get into that kind of now, but Emery was asked about it in his post-match presser, and he just said nothing to say about it, kind of shaking his head, sort of, batting it away. You'd expect nothing more, but hey, I thought I'd tell you about it anyway. So yeah, that's all from me. Going to head back home now, and top 2, it's all I've ever wanted.